And staying with Iran, as anti-hijab protests rage on, the country has taken a very consequential decision. And no, this decision does not concern Iranian citizens. It concerns India. According to reports, Iran is no longer importing tea and basmati rice from India. That's right. Since last week, Iran has stopped signing all contracts for tea and basmati rice imports. It doesn't plan on buying them anytime soon, but the question is why? The answer is uncertain. No one knows the reason behind Iran's move, but a lot of speculation is doing the rounds. For starters, exporters believe this decision could have stemmed from the ongoing protests in the country. They have shut shops, hotels and markets across Iran. It's been over 2 months. There are no signs of stability. So is this the reason behind Iran's move? Who knows? Some other observers believe this decision could have been taken due to a rupee trade settlement agreement, which India and Iran are currently working on. Look at the headline now coming up on your screen. New Delhi and Tehran are surveying the possibilities of settling trade transactions in rupee or through a barter system. So is this the reason behind Iran's move? Again, who knows? Now, some of you may be wondering, is this really that big a deal? And the answer is yes. Look at the numbers. Iran imports around 30 to 35 million kgs of orthodox tea from India and about 1.5 million kgs basmati rice from India every year. And if we speak of India, Iran happens to be its second biggest destination for basmati rice imports. It accounts for a total of 16%. Saudi Arabia comes first with 22% of basmati rice exports going there. And these are big numbers. They help you grasp the gravity of Iran's decision. The question is, can Iran do without Indian imports, especially basmati rice, which happens to be the staple food for many Iranians? To start with, the famous adave polo or pulao is made using basmati rice that comes from India. The chelo kebab is made using basmati rice, as is the yogurt and saffron tahdig. My point is simple. The basmati rice is an essential ingredient in a host of Persian dishes. We wonder how Iranians will do without it. Now, here's the thing. For India, the impact of Iran's decision may be minimal. Its exports of tea and rice have risen in recent times amid growing shortages in other countries, and this is mainly because of the Russia-Ukraine war. In fact, during the first 8 months of this year, exports of tea from India increased by 14.8%. 14.8%. They stood at a whopping 140.28 million kilograms. The same time last year, the shipment stood at 122.18 million kilograms. So Iran's decision may not have had much of an impact on India. Next question. Has India said anything about Iran's move? Not really. Besides statements from traders and businessmen, no official remarks have been made by New Delhi. In fact, India is busy taking other decisions. Decisions like these. Stalling the exports of Chinese phones. According to reports, India has stalled the exports of 27,000 Vivo phones worth over $15 million. What this basically means is that Vivo smartphones manufactured in India are no longer being exported to other countries. The report says that for more than a week, Vivo phones are being held up at the New Delhi airport by authorities. Which authorities are these? The Revenue Intelligence Unit, a branch of India's finance ministry. Reports say it has held up the smartphones over an alleged misdeclaration of the device models and their value. In other words, Vivo did not provide the right information about the kind of devices that it was exporting and at what price. Now, remember, this move is part of a series of Indian economic pushbacks against China, especially Vivo. In July this year, the Enforcement Directorate of India launched a crackdown against Vivo. The charges against Vivo were striking. It was accused of channeling money out of India. Why is that? So that it could show losses and avoid paying taxes. Do you know how much money it had laundered? Approximately 624 billion rupees. That's equal to $7.9 billion. This is almost half of Vivo's total sales revenue in India. And what's the total? About 1.25 trillion rupees since 2014. That's what Vivo has earned in India. This was in July. 4 months on, India has stalled Vivo exports. This comes at the same time when Iran has stopped basmati rice exports from India. How do we perceive this? Is there a trade war brewing? Are South Asian nations becoming more and more insular? Why is there a heightened scrutiny of imports and exports? Here's hoping we find the answers in the days ahead. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.